Greetings, lore seekers, and welcome back to another episode of the Lost Archives. That's right, more Star Wars Legends lore. Today I thought I would return to doing a video on blasters, specifically the ELG range of blasters, also known as Diplomat's blasters. For those of you unfamiliar, these are the blasters used by Padme Amidala and the royal handmaidens of the Naboo Queen's Bodyguard. The two models we're going to talk about specifically are the Q2, the holdout blaster, and the more noticeable F3A, which is the same base model, but it is slightly larger and has an extended barrel, as you can see by the images on screen. So we'll start with the Q2, as it was the first one in this range that was first manufactured. Now the Q2 is a holdout blaster, meaning it's light, compact and easy to hide or slip into holsters. This was also made by Merr-Sonn munitions, whereas the 3A was made by Soro Subsystems Corporation. I can only summarise that Merr-Sonn munitions actually licensed the patent out to them after this. Otherwise, if you think about the legal system in the Star Wars universe, Merr-Sonn may have not taken too kindly to them aping their designs. But anyway, the people who would primarily use this weapon would be undercover agents or various other things, basically wishing to have a low profile weapon, such as like diplomats or people undercover, for basically an alternative to personal defence instead of a big cumbersome bastard like the Westar maybe, or a more heavier blaster pistol. For this reason, and because of its small, compact nature, it was actually banned by a lot of systems, or in certain cases like Naboo, heavily regulated for specific purposes. And, well, yeah. As we've all seen on screen, these things can quite easily subdue a battle droid with one shot. So it does deliver quite a powerful bolt. The unique nature of this as well is the blaster bolt is actually green, and each power cell had to be specialised, but could be easily bought from any authorised Merr-Sonn munitions dealer, usually costing about 20 credits per capsule. Each capsule providing the gun with about 6 shots. As you can see, it's not a heavy amount of shots, but it's more than enough to take out 6 droids or 6 individuals, one with each shot, providing your aim is on. And then you just quickly pop out the capsule, insert a new one, and you go, you've got another 6 shots to go. So essentially it is a version of a 6-shooter in the Star Wars galaxy. Notable users. This is a new section I'm trying out with lore videos, and just mentioning a couple of the people who used anything I'm really talking about. So, as we all know, Padme Amidala and all of her handmaidens would have made use of these blasters, as they were trained to use them very proficiently, with Padme caping several in her throne room as a last ditch effort if, they were attacked by bounty hunters, or in the instant with Newt Gunray and the other viceroys, as well as, which many of you may not know, was actually the last-ditch weapon of Dash Rendar, the famous spacer who turns up in Shadows of the Empire and even turns up in his own subsequent game. Something I do plan to do a Let's Play. And one other notable user, me. I use a Q2 as part of my Mandalorian armour, as you can see by the picture I've attached here. I also use the 3A, but a modified version which you'll see later on in the video. Right, onto the ELG 3A. So this one was Soro Subsystems Corporation that created this one. Also part of the blaster pistol range, or the Naboo Royal Pistol as it's also known in the merchandising department of this sort of thing. So, what differences did it have to the Q2? Well, the first thing Soro Sub did was elongate the barrel of this in order to increase the range on it, but still maintaining the weight of a wholesale blaster. So it still has greater range. So it has greater range, but none additional weight in creating that. They'd also tuned the focusing ring on these blasters in order to give it better stun damage. So they'd added in a stun setting, and this was usually unknown for a blaster of its kind. And it did pack quite a considerable punch as compared to the Q2 and other ones. The BX Series X Commando droids, the ones mostly you'll see in the Clone Wars, could also be destroyed from a headshot despite its additional armour. So these things packed quite well up for such a small blaster. Once again, they needed a specialised power pack, also being compatible with the Merr-Sonn munitions power pack, which also delivered 6 shots. In the blaster, however, the blaster's bolt would be a greenish blue colour, so it could fire both green and blue colours. Whether or not that is to donate stun or lethal shots is entirely a different question altogether. Notable users. As with the Q2, Padme Amidala made liberal use of these blasters, carrying it on many diplomatic missions, including ones to Alderaan, where she was attacked by the bounty hunter Aurra Singh, and to Rhodia and various other places. Sabe was also known to use this blaster quite liberally as well. For those of you who don't know, Sabe is one of her handmaidens who actually gets an increased role in the Disney canon comics. So, you know, some of them are pretty good. She even has some interactions with Darth Vader, so go and check them out if you're interested. And the final user of this is me, as stated earlier in the video, but this is my version of the 3A. As you can see, I've trimmed the barrel down. I don't yet have a reason why I would do this, except for I wanted it to match the Q2, as I was using them as a pair for my Mandalorian armour. There's a little sneak peek, there you go guys, there's a picture of me in my armour. I do actually have a few updates and upgrades I want to make to this armour over time, and I may, if requested, show you as I go on. The helmet is also based off the Death Watch helmet, if you were interested. On one final note, a behind the scenes thing I will also share with the Q2 and the 8-3A is that this blaster was actually designed by Lucas himself, and his sketches on this were quickly transformed into a workable practical prop within about a day of him actually sketching the initial concept ideas for episode 1. So, you know, this is a little piece of history that came straight out of the head of the creator. So, it's always a nice one to have. Anyway, my sources will be listed in the description below, as always. If you like what you saw, maybe hit that subscribe button, or check out some of my other content. If you want to put down any video suggestions, feel free, as I do intend to start rolling up more videos more frequently, now that I have returned, and I am mostly fully mended. Anyway guys, that being said, take care, have a good day, and may the law keepers ever be in your favour. And one after the credits, sort of, message. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and an enjoyable live day to everybody. See you all in 2023.